What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Mike Dyack. I'm a master plumber and HVAC contractor in the states of Florida, South Carolina, and New York. Today, it's early, 6:40 in the morning. We're loading up the truck because today, Christmas Eve, we're working on a Mikey Pipes Philanthropy project. We're giving a family a deeply discounted and subsidized heat pump system to replace their inadequate electric boiler at an amazing price. You know what that means, folks. Let's go! Here's our attic access, a ladder that's permanently installed. And here's our OSHA-approved plywood. Full height, by the way. Here's the Rheem Rude air handler, and you can see the nasty organic growth on the insulation behind the panel that covered up the evaporator. So, bye-bye Rheem. Manufacture date of June 2007. This was a 3.5 ton system, indicated by the 42 in the model number. Not so much growth on the evaporator panel, but take a look at that evaporator. Nasty. All right, let me go deal with the electric boiler and shut that down and drain down the zone. Here's that electric boiler. Argo. So I got the power turned off. There's a 60 amp breaker right there that's not labeled. I figured that's the only one supplying this thing from that massive conduit right there. I know you electricians are going to correct me. Whatever that's called is corrugated BX or MC cable for, I don't know, what is that, 3/4 inch maybe? 1 inch? I don't know. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a Sparky. I just laid a pipe. Ask your sister. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that that line there goes to our second floor. So I close the isolation valve right above the circulator, and there's another valve right there. I close that. Hopefully it's the right one. I guess we'll find out. Now there's very little pressure in the boiler. I got the boiler feed valve closed. This is the domestic water coming in. This is the pressure reducing valve that takes that street pressure, the house pressure, which is anywhere between 50 and 60 PSI in my neighborhood, reduces that down to 12. Yeah, no backflow preventer here. Why would one be here, right? So this isolation valve, ball valve, with this expansion tank sitting there, and goes to the bottom of the air scoop. Not an air separator, air scoop. And that appears to be on the supply piping, but wow. What a ship show here, mama. Damn. And they had oil. An oil-fired water heater, an oil-fired boiler. There's no gas in the neighborhood, but we got this A.O. Smith Lowe's special. It's signature series. I'm not saying it's not the same as getting it from a supply house, but that's kind of what I'm saying, in my opinion. All right, let me show you the outdoor unit. All right, there is my Mikey Pipes by ACIQ 4-ton side discharge heat pump condensing unit. I got a little bit of a dilemma here. I need to get to this 3/4 from that 7/8, and I don't think it's going to be easy. I really don't think it's going to be easy. This line here, which is not that forgiving, all right, needs to come off the wall a little bit, and then I need to, braze something here. Maybe I can go like, oh yeah, oh I got this. Oh, watch how I do this, folks. Stick around, smash that thumbs up button. All right, let me show you what I'm gonna do here, folks. So we have this piece right here that comes shipped from ACIQ. We have that 7/8 or 3/4 in plumbing world, and we have this 3/4
right, or 5/8 in the plumbing world. And I got some fittings. I have a long turn 90, right, which will probably put me where I need to be. But I'm probably going to do something like this. And I know this is kind of crazy, but we're going to do something like that. And there we go. So if I cut that back here and I put a little piece there, yes, I have multiple joints. It would be nice if I had a long turn 7/8 street 90 or 3/4 street 90 long term, but I don't have that. So we're going to do this. We're going to braze all this together, and that's going to go there like that. But first we need to wipe this line and remove the oils from that R22 system that used to be running here and make it compatible for 454B. We got our pipe wiper kit. We have the clean shot. We got nitrogen. I got a hose. I just need that little injector, that little cone looking thing that goes on the end of the refrigeration hose. And we'll flush out the 7/8 and the 3/4. All right. Let's flush. Oh, this stupid box, man. All right. See, that's what I'm talking about, the handy shot tool. All right. All right, now let's flush some nitrogen through it, and then we'll pipe wipe. All right, now let's pipe wipe. All right, we have a tray of pigs, and we have all these adapters. This is the one for 7/8, and the principle behind here is that we take a 7/8 pig, we insert it into the piping, and we clamp this on, and we blow nitrogen around 100 psi through the pipe, and this gets ejected at the end. So it's pretty cool. You can buy this at True Tech Tools. That's where I got my second set, and it's pretty cool, and it works. And you know, do your due diligence when you're retrofitting an existing system from an R22 to an A2L, because those oils are not compatible with one another, and you'll kill compressor. All right, the tool is in place. We're going to switch hoses, and we're going to blow nitrogen through this at around 100 psi. And that little piggy is going to come out at the other end, outside next to the air handler. All right, I had a problem with the Meta glasses. It wasn't allowing me to record for some reason, but nonetheless, we recovered the piggies from the 7/8 and the 3/8 line, and now I have this crescent wrench wedged in there so I can cut the 7/8 with my mini tubing cutter. is not that cooperative, and this thing keeps falling out. Oh my God, stop it. Behave yourself. Oh, I'm just so pissed. It's cold. The wind is blowing. Come on. It's gonna fall out again anyway, I already know it. So I'm hitting that. Come on. What do you use, like K-copper here? It's impossible to cut through. And let's not forget to deburr the pipe. Alright. It feels like there's something there. No, we're good. Beautiful. Let's get some emery paper and clean that off and then make our connections. You're gonna tell me you guys don't use your finger or thumb to mark where the pipe needs to be cut? Come on, man. Keeping it real here, folks. So I need a short little piece to make up that difference there, and then I'm gonna carefully braze this together without burning down this lady's house. And yes, I am deburring the pipe. Okay. Make sure there's no burrs inside the pipe. Then again, you have this, so I don't see how that can make a difference. Let's braze, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, baby. Why are you not cooperating with me? I'm really trying not to get the siding. And so far, I've been successful. Get a little more fuel going on here. The wind is not helping today. Come on, wind. Cooperate with me. I'm your friend. We're doing a good deed today. Well, I hope that's good. He who hopes dies in despair. Isn't that right, Al? Guys, you really don't know how windy it is right now. Alright, and right here. They're not pretty, but the house is not melted. I'm going to put a zoom lock 3/8 flare connection to connect to my 3/8 line. perfect. Love it. All right, not too shabby. We're gonna put some split Armorflex on here to cover that up. And I noticed that this here was exposed when I was pulling on this wire. So we're going to replace that and not have to deal with that ugly looking thing, and we'll be all right. So let me take off the electrical compartment screws and wire that in. All right, S1 and S2, S1 being on the right and S2 being on the left. They do say that polarity does not matter, but I found that it did one of the first times we installed the system, so I always keep polarity correct. So S1, S2 stays the same at the indoor unit. All right, 17 after 10 in the morning. I flushed the lines with nitrogen just to purge out whatever oxygen would be in there and non-condensables. So I got the vacuum pump set up. We're at 22,000 and dropping microns. Someone commented on one of the last install videos that they do a triple evac with nitrogen and vacuuming down each time, getting deeper and deeper. And I sometimes do that. It depends on how deep and how quickly it goes down. But right now we're at 10,000 microns and we're dropping. We may have to dump some nitrogen into that and flush it out a couple times, but let's see. You know, we have a very dry system. Hopefully it stays that way, and hopefully we can pull down with a good vacuum here on Christmas Eve, delivering reliable, efficient heat to this family in need for the holiday season. All right, we got down to around 650 microns. Then I closed off the valves and we jumped to 24,000 microns in probably about 30 seconds. So we're doing a nitrogen purge. This will be the first of 3. We're just blowing high pressure nitrogen through my 3/8 to the evaporator, back down the 7/8 to the 3/4, and then out here. I removed the micron gauge from there. We're now going to close off that valve, let the rest of the high pressure nitrogen discharge on its own, and then I'll put the micron gauge back on, open up the vacuum valve on my straighter core removal tool, and pump down again. It is 10:25. All right, it is 10:37. We are at 108 microns in our vacuum process. Let's close off both valves, see what we jump up to. We're 5, 7, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,240. Not going anywhere at 1,240, so we still got some more vacuuming down to do. I'm really contemplating doing a nitrogen right now on it. Should I do it? Yeah, let's do it. So let me show you what we're gonna do. This one's got a little port in there. Let's close that. Close that off. Let's hook up the nitrogen connection to where that straighter core port was. Let's do that. Let's open that nitrogen. Let's dump it in there. Okay. The nitrogen is going in there. Let's open that up. Oh, there's a straighter core there. Duh. Let's do this. There you go. So now we were in a deep vacuum, 100 something microns. It shot up to 1,240, right? So with everything still isolated, pump still running, I isolated the vacuum hoses and the vacuum pump, and I bring in my nitrogen into that 3/8 line, and when it was still in that vacuum, dumping nitrogen into it. Now I'm forcing all that nitrogen out through there, Let's close that off. We'll remove that nitrogen. We're going to put that cap back on. All right, we don't know if that straight or core valve is going to leak a little bit. Now we're going to wait for that pressure to stop coming out of that line right there where the micron gauge was. And then we're going to open up those valves once I put the micron gauge back on. And always keep caps on these things, right? They're sensitive. Keep the cap on everything. Don't just store it without the cap on. You're going to get atmosphere in there, you know, moisture, all that good stuff, and you're going to really mess it up. So make sure you take care of your tools. Your tools are your biggest investment, right? When you're doing this as a profession. Take care of your tools will take care of you. All right. 640 microns. That was the second, maybe the last. We could do a third for triple evac and nitrogen flush. It is 1045. We'll see how low that goes. We're in no rush, but I would like to be out of here completely by 12. Keys the ignition, back to the shop at 12. Shop's only a 20-minute drive away, so it's Christmas Eve. We just want to get home to our families. And I want to send my guys home early. They deserve it. You can smell that glue and primer. Getting high over here? Yeah.
Are you down that side?
No, I'm vacuuming down one more time. I don't like how high it's going. So folks, you know, ACIQ sent us the wrong air handler. So they gave us lemons. We added some sugar and water and made lemonade. And it actually worked out okay, I guess. We reused the return plenum from the old air handler because it was 24-inch cabinet. And this should have been the smaller cabinet. It is what it is. I already yelled at them. And the supply plenum, we made work, you know. Made lemonade out of lemons. We had to cut the flanges down and bend them in. And then put a piece of sheet metal there. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not really worried about static pressure here. It'll work fine. We have a nice big 18-inch flex on a 4-ton system. We good. Electric's connected. We had to make some modifications to the wiring because it's not auto sensing 120, 240. We had to change the jumper around. But ACIQ took our call. I think we spoke to Jared. And he helped us out. Even sent Daniel a bunch of pictures in case, you know, we can visually verify. But right now we're working on the drain. The condensate trap, it's the last one that the company has. We have to order more. But not too shabby, folks. Not too shabby. All right, 1055. 71 microns. Let's close the valves. See how high she jumps. Oh, not ready yet. We're at 531. Oh, 530. 529. Yes. 528. Perfect. 527. I ain't BSing you here. See? It is dropping down. We have a nice, tight, and dry system. We're going to run that for a few more minutes and then dump the charge and then add about 1.5 pounds of 454B. That stuff right there. Awesome. What's nice about the field piece straighter core removal tool, you can see if the core is reinstalled and you didn't miss it. All right, let's get the other one on. Okay. The refrigerant is dumped into the system. Let's get this side in. Good. Close that. I'm removing this, and then we will slowly open to make sure we don't have a leak. So that's good there. Let's put on the service port caps back on. You're going to notice that all A2L refrigerants use these red caps now. That's to easily identify, so there's no confusion with any service technician coming here and adding the wrong refrigerant. All right, we added a pound and a third of R54B. Follow the directions, RTFM. And we're just about done here. All right, here's the air handler. She's running. She's producing heat for the entire house. Now, granted, these things will work to negative 22 degrees, but once it gets below like 15 degrees or lower, you're not really running at 100%. But I'm not really too concerned about that. The average winter months temperature in New York is 38 degrees. Do we get to the 20s sometimes? Yes, once in a blue moon. Do we get it into the teens? Hardly ever, but we never get to negative 22 degrees, so you're not going to be running at 100% at that temperature. But 17 degrees is what PSE&G Long Island wants these systems rated for. Could this have been a 5-ton? Yeah, but you know what? It's variable speed outdoor unit, variable speed blower, electronic expansion valve. You know, this thing really is superb and very energy efficient. We got it done Christmas Eve. It's 11:25 and the job is complete. We're going over thermostat instructions with the homeowner and we out. Happy holidays. There's a reason why I always like to triple check things. You know, I was heading down the stairs like, you know what, let me clean up the debris that was on top of the air handler that the guys neglected to clean up, and I did, and put the remote control there with the batteries, the extra wiring harnesses. But look what I found lurking in the corner. It's a little after 3 o'clock, Christmas Eve. Just had a little lunch or an early dinner. And I didn't notice, but I have a voicemail on my phone. And it's from the homeowner, the job we just did today, the install you just watched. And I'm going to upload it. And here it is. Good stuff.
Hey, Mikey and the Pipe Doctor team, thank you so much. And thank you to ACIQ as well. I'm a homeowner and a mom, and I just want to say how grateful my family and I are for everything you did for us. You showed up when we really needed help, treated us with respect, and worked your hearts out to get our home back to normal. Because of all of you, we can restore some normalcy this holiday season, warmth, comfort, and a little peace of mind. That means more than I can put into words. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Mikey Pipes and the entire Pipe Doctor team, and thank you, ACIQ, for making this possible. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. My family and I have been blessed this holiday.